This is the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game, it's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for, and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads, and everything else that makes this House of Hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae.
And this is our house.
It's already been 10 episodes since the 143. Wow. Crazy.
Welcome to episode 153 of the House of Hockey podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Rae.
I'm your host, Breezy. And we are deep in the playoffs at this point.
Yes, we are.
There's not much else going on other than that.
No, we are just patiently waiting for the Western Conference final to be over between the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. Obviously, that may be done by the time we hear this, possibly. I didn't look at the actual game day schedule, but I don't think they're playing on Memorial Day tomorrow. So they're probably playing Tuesday, right? Are they playing tonight?
No. Today's Sunday. They played they played on Saturday.
They are playing Monday.
They are playing. Yeah, I think they're gonna play though, because I still said Stars in 7, but
Breezy did say Stars in 7. Our fan Wit said Stars in 6. Obviously that can't happen, but might be Vegas in 6. We will see. So obviously keep that in mind. We won't know who has won by, it still could all be up in the air by the time you're listening to this, or it might be fully over. So I don't know that we want to take too much time analyzing it, other than the one thing of note for the Stars, since they've now won the last 2 games, making it 3-2 in the series, is that the easy headline and thing for fans to say is that Jamie Benn's not in the lineup, therefore they're doing better without him, which I don't think is a fair statement. And fans are so quick to just jump to that, especially if you're not a Stars fan. You're so quick to say that. However, I think it's given an opportunity for that team to change up their lines, which can actually be a good thing sometimes when you are forced to change up your lines and put different players on in different positions. And they've changed it up in both of the games that he has not been in, and it's proven to work. So what happens when Ben comes back? Where do you put him now in your lines? You just slot him back into where he was? Do you kind of leave what you have and bump him down maybe to like the 3rd line or 4th line? I'm not sure. What would you do, Breezy?
I don't know. He's obviously the captain, and losing him was a big blow because of what he contributed thus far in the playoffs. I think from my point of view, when you lose like a big player, or I don't even know if you want to call him a big player. I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Leader.
But like someone, when you lose your leader, it almost forces everybody else to step up a little bit, because you can't be as laxed and rely on other people. You know what I mean? It was a team that we talked about it. I think it was last year, where it's like, are they going to play good because they lost like their starting goalie or something? It's like, but you can't depend on one player to like kind of always have it. So like, you can't play lax when it comes to losing, a top 2 player. So I think they'll probably make sure that he gets slotted in the right spot. And there's obviously lines that have holes in them that he would be able to fill. Yeah, I'm not a coach, so I don't know where I'd put him, but I think maybe he'll bring more energy back to the team. I mean, he's obviously a big locker room guy. I got on it.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is true too, in that it's forcing the players who have to step up
Right.
to do their best and play at their best, especially, when you're one game away from being eliminated. And
Right.
I think a lot of those factors we're seeing them play out.
Yeah.
How much do they have left to give? How much does Vegas need to get their ish together and figure it out? If you're going to talk about Vegas, right, from the Vegas fans perspective, like they've got like, what you doing, boys? Like fans are like, come on. So it's an interesting way to look at the game for sure, and see how different lines can be born out of something that would seemingly be unfortunate by losing Ben for his suspension. However, I have to call him out because his comments after being awarded the 2-game suspension were like, well, it was just really unfortunate that I fell on him with my stick in his back or whatever. And I was like, you did it on purpose. Don't try to pretend to be this like nice guy out there on the ice who's Mr. Nice Guy who doesn't do things like that. It's a bunch of bull. So I lost a little respect for him there. Just own it. You're already suspended.
I think he's kind of and I think he's kind of known for having that kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't really, and he has to know that he's not well liked in many aspects because of his gameplay. So you got to own it. And I believe he also had a quote that said, we don't talk, during this, but fortunately I saw that he was okay. So you still should apologize, regardless if he was okay or not. You should still probably apologize. That's like the decent human thing to do.
Yeah. I think the refs made the right. Yeah. I think they made the right call. I don't know about like the 2-game suspension, but I don't know what the rule book states. However, I mean, at least a 1-game I felt would have been appropriate, just to, because with a guy like that.
Yeah, I know. But regardless, whoever wins the series, game 1 at the Stanley Cup final would be at their own barn. So will that also light a fire under Dallas's butt to be like, you know what, we do have a chance to start it at home, like bring it on Panthers? Or will the Knights just come out on top and be like, look, we just have to do it, we can finish the job right here? But they are going back to Dallas for game 6. Dallas didn't have too much luck in their own barn at the beginning of this series, so I don't know, man.
We don't know, but it's fun to watch and see where it ends up. And Florida, meantime, is getting a lot of much needed rest after the many overtimes and tough games they've played.
But again, it scares me that they're getting too much rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
so that could be hard.
I don't think for them it's too much. I think they are so glad that they are getting their Z's and resting their legs, and hopefully they're not out on the golf course too much getting dehydrated, because we don't need that either. Let's talk about the coaches and some of the interesting comments that have been said in post-game pressers. Let's stick with Florida, and then I want to circle back to Rod Brind'amour, because you want to talk about that. But I want to talk about Paul Maurice, who is a silent killer with the jokes, because he was asked about Sasha Barkov and his injury, or where he was. The question was like, oh, where was Barkov? And he was like, oh yeah, he was at a bar mitzvah. His neighbor's son had a bar mitzvah, and didn't want to disappoint the kids. And I am here for it. I am here for the jokes and the personality, and finding a way to talk about an injury without talking about an injury, and at least getting a good quote out there and getting good press and attention on the sport. Like, I'm here for this, Maurice. Give me all of the jokes you got anytime somebody asks you about an injured player.
That is funny. That is a good one.
Yeah.
So
the other funny one, I'll say it's funny. Brind'amour. I'm going to say it's the most breezy answer anyone can give.
Yes.
But that kind of makes me mad at myself because this comment made me mad. So I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight with myself at this point.
So now you know how I feel.
Now I know how you feel. And I feel like you should just slap me at this point because now I'm just annoyed. I'm an annoying person. Anyway.
No, you're not.
So, quote unquote, Brind'amour said after being swept, and you're going to use the word swept because they technically were swept in sports terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the unfortunate part of this, is that we're going to look back and everyone's going to say that you were swept, and that's not what happened. I watched the game. I'm there. We're in the game. We didn't lose 4 games. We got beat, but we were right there. This could have went either way. It could have been 4 games the other way. Yes, right? Like they were just 1 goal away.
Yes.
From tying the game to go back into overtime or to tying the game and then having to win again. So technically they were 2 goals away if you weren't really want to get technical. But you didn't lose, you got beat. That's the same thing. And you were swept.
Yes, you were. I have the broom to prove it. Yeah, I think what he was trying to say was like, my man behind me, Tortorella, I think at one point this season was like, we didn't lose. Did you watch the game? He's like, that was improvement. We put our all out there. We didn't lose. Like was, I think Brind'amour was trying to say something along those lines of like, we put our all out on the table. We fought to overtime every game. Like we didn't get swept. Like they fought their asses off, I think is what he was like trying to say, but it just didn't come out right. And instead he just said, we didn't get swept.
The quote was quoted and the quote looks bad. The quote seems bad. But you got to give the coach respect because he's not trying to make losers out of his team. His team is in no way losers. Like, let's get that clear. They're a great team. And I think being the coach that he is, it's a good thing to stick up for your team like that.
Yes.
Because his job's not on the line. Like, he's solid. Like, everything's good. They are probably going to lose some players, but it's just own it at this point. But it is good to have a coach that is willing to go to battle for you because that's what you need. And that's what makes him a good coach, right?
It does make him a good coach. He did have crazy eyes a little bit during that presser, which, I mean, that just might be the way he expresses his, like, he was probably really frustrated and just trying to get through the presser, which is never fun, right? It's like the worst part of their job, especially when you lose 4-0.
When you were beat 4-0.
When you were beat 4-0, you don't want to, it's a hard thing to have to do and go out there and come up with some kind of answer, which is why Paul Maurice is like, he was at a bar mitzvah, he went to a first communion, whatever, like he's at the mosque doing prayers, like whatever, I mean, it's just like, you get so tired of it. And I just wish maybe Brind'amour had taken just like a beat to kind of put his thoughts together before going out there and figuring out how he really wanted to say what he wanted to say. But, I'm sure the boys appreciated it though. This week's episode of the House of Hockey podcast is brought to you by Light the lamp during the hockey playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can make a $5 bet and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. Make sure to open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now to check the available lines and all the incredible odds that they offer for all of our playoff hockey games that are happening right now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code THPN. That's THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. New customers can make a $5 hockey playoff bet and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, that's 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for offer details. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Let's face it, with coffee starting at $5, yes, even without any customizations, and our bank account somehow always depleting, we are officially entering a dupe session. Most products do the same thing, but are priced differently solely based on the brand name. So a good duplicate or dupe is crucial for getting the highest quality at the best price. And one dupe you definitely shouldn't sleep on: Raycon wireless earbuds. Raycon is premium audio at the perfect price point, so you can listen to what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank, whether that's the House of Hockey podcast or some Lainey Wilson jams. You might not want to spend a lot of money on earbuds, especially if you lose things easily. That's no worry with Raycon. They're easily replaceable if you lose them. And if you're new to good quality audio, you might not want to spend a ton of money on your first pair. Raycon's mission is to prove that you shouldn't have to pay an arm and leg for quality sound and essential smart tech listening features. You can get a pair and a spare and still pay less than you would with some of those other more big name tech brands out there. Raycon knows that in this economy, every purchase needs to be perfect. They offer buy now, pay later options. Right now, you can pay as low as $18 at checkout. They have an easy and free return guarantee. They offer 2 years of product protection insurance for just a few bucks. They offer free domestic shipping and a flat fee international shipping. They have over 50,000 5-star reviews. One feature of my Raycons that I love are that they're water and sweat resistant, so I don't have to worry when I'm working out that anything is going to happen to them. And also the noise isolation feature, that is also super important when I'm recording the podcast, so I don't have to worry about exterior noise distracting me. They're really, really great products. So go to buyraycon.com/THPN today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/THPN to score 15% off. buyraycon.com/THPN. I don't want to talk about it, but I have to. I'm so irritated that I have to talk about this. I don't know what fool on the internet heard whatever rumor about this idea. I think it is just an idea. I don't even know if it has any legitimacy to it, that the Chicago Blackhawks should trade the first round pick, aka Conor Bedard, to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Auston Matthews and a second round pick. And my thoughts are emphatically no. No, 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 no. Auston Matthews, Conor Bedard, I don't fucking think so. I can't even imagine why you would do that, what value he would bring, how much money you would have to pay Matthews, how little talent you still have on the team. You're going to build a team around Matthews? Well, look how well that went in Toronto. Okay, we're not doing that, Chicago. We're not doing that. That's not happening. If they trade the first round pick, I don't know. I might have to boycott the team for a while or something, because that would just be like, Chicago fans would they would return all their season tickets that they've just bought. Like, only fools would keep their season tickets that they bought to just go see Matthews play. I don't want to see Matthews play all alone on the ice. Okay, thanks. Bye. Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, build Matthews and Marner, right? And Nylander. I mean, it was like they playoffs. So if he were to come to Chicago, you would probably bring out a lot of talent from your team, and it would be like a growing experience, right? I know you just don't like Matthews. That's just how it is. Bedard would be a better thing to build around. Yes. However, you really think every Blackhawks fan would trade in their season tickets, or is it just you?
It's me. And I think you would see like the diehards. I think a lot of them would be like, you guys don't know what you're doing.
That's funny. I feel like any team would with open arms.
Wouldn't be you're breaking up. What'd you say? I have to be able to react.
I feel like any team would, and any team's fan base would welcome Matthews with open arms.
Get out. Don't let the door hit you in the ass behind you. I don't want you. I don't want to build a team around you. You're too old. The future is not Auston Matthews in Chicago. It's Conor Bedard. We're already in the shits. Like, we have nothing going for us right now. And this is the opportunity to take a young talent and develop him. How old is he?
25.
He's too old. No, he's too old. We're done with him. No, I don't want him. I don't want him in Chicago. Chicago fans don't want Matthews right now. Maybe in like 3 years after Bedard like gets his groove, maybe you can bring Matthews in. What if you get
Matthews and Bedard, and the two of them are like the tag team?
All I know is I will not ever be purchasing an Auston Matthews jersey. Okay. So, I mean, I just don't think he is a leader, Matthews. I don't want him on my team. I don't want him on my team.
We got it.
Okay.
We got it. No Matthews to the Blackhawks. Sheesh. Matthews hater over here.
It's not the right move. It is 100% the wrong move. Chicago has dumped every talented player except Seth Jones because we can't, and because of his contract. I mean, we could, but who's going to take that on?
So who would be a player that you would want to be like with Bedard? Honestly, like I'm just curious.
Well, not like with Bedard. Like, that trade is like trading Bedard for Matthews, which I don't agree that you could trade anybody for Matthews.
No, because you should be able to have cap space. So you should be able to bring on talent this upcoming season to play alongside Bedard. And if there is people available, like, let's just say we don't know who's currently available at this exact moment, but like, if people were to be available, who would be like your ideal person? Other than Kane. Kane's not coming back.
No, Kane's not coming back. I mean, Kane is a good choice though. Like, he developed DeBrincat. Sorry, my brain was running through all these different players. I mean, he developed DeBrincat to get him where he is today, to the player he is now. Full on, hands down. There's no arguing that. Obviously, DeBrincat put in the work and like did the things, but without Kane, I don't think he would be the player he is. I think Kane would be an excellent choice. Obviously, that's not happening. I think you need someone like a Stammer. Not that I want Stammer, but I'm just thinking. I was gonna say,
like, would you do like a Braden Point or something like that?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a Braden Point. I still think he's a little too young out there. I mean, let's see. You need somebody.
Would you take Mitch Marner?
I was thinking about Marner, and I don't hate that because I think Marner knows his place and is a better like sort of team guy and has more experience in that role of like being sort of the like assist, like the partner, the line partner. I could see Marner. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through rosters on teams.
That's okay. I just kind of threw it at you that it's
yeah.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
But he needs somebody like a Kane that's gonna, or like somebody who's knows the game super, super well. Even I don't think McDavid is this way, but like
I was gonna say, isn't
maybe
Taylor Hall potentially on the move? Would Taylor Hall be a good match?
no.
You wouldn't want Taylor Hall on the Hawks.
No,
I mean, I wouldn't either. Like, let's be real, but
no, he needs to stay in Boston. I think he's found his spot. He's found his team. I hope they can afford to keep him, but I think he's a good player there. I don't think Hall is gonna be like, oh, okay, it's time for me to now develop Conor Bedard. I feel like Hall is like, I've had enough of this team to team to team and still no cup and like just chaos. I don't think he's would be interested in that.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm going to have to circle back, but he needs somebody that's willing
Brock
to.
Besser might be kind of cool.
That could be cool.
Besser Bedard.
Anyway,
you have to have like a ship name for that.
It does sound like a ship name. and I'm not saying that Conor Bedard is the end all be all in the future of hockey. Like, so much shit can happen with somebody who's 17 years old. Like, we're putting a lot of pressure, but we're in a place, the Blackhawks of not being in a good place at all whatsoever. So why not take these years to try to develop him as best you can and put the pieces around him? Like, don't bring in Auston Matthews. Like, no, that's not the answer. Okay, I'm done with the rant. I want to talk positive.
But you are happy about something you're happy about something.
I am happy about something. Well, I'm happy and I'm also a little pissed. I'm pissed at the league, but I'm happy that there are so many different sports athletes of their own volition marketing the NHL. And I have to give shout outs to these guys. I don't watch any of them. I don't know what teams they play for. Some of them are retired, but either way, this is important to note, hockey fans. This is really important and it needs to be encouraged and celebrated and shared because this is going to grow the sport and unfortunately not the league. We're going to start off with the Detroit Tigers. That's baseball, MLB. They have an in-dugout celebration created by first baseman Spencer Torkelson, inspired by hockey. It includes a pair of CCM gloves from the Red Wings, a helmet with the Red Wings, and a Fisher hockey stick, where if there is a home run, they do a slap shot into like, what's that little, the little net thing called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like where they practice slap shot, like a slap shot. It's a kit that everybody has.
Oh, like a sauce kit?
Thank you. A sauce kit.
Oh, okay.
They like sauce the puck into the net basically. And they celebrate hockey style. Like, they put the helmet on, they put the gloves on, they get the stick, they get the thing out, they all selly. And it is like meant to encourage them to get more home runs, hit more home runs. Sorry, all over the place. I love it. I'm here for it. I fully support this. And it was inspired by the way hockey players celebrate their goals.
That's cool.
We're influencing baseball, people. This is huge. This is huge. Okay. That's happening. The next thing that is a little older is Jason Kelce, football player, NFL.
Okay.
He has a podcast or something with some other athlete, I don't know, and he said that the Stanley Cup is the best trophy in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And he argued it against the Lombardi Trophy, which is the trophy he plays to win, that the Stanley Cup is the best trophy because of the tradition we have with it, where you follow it around. There's only one. You don't get like your own. They don't keep making new Stanley Cups. There's one Stanley Cup. And I was like, hell yeah. And the NHL, minor kudos to them, brought him the Stanley Cup and let him have a day with the cup and take pictures and stuff. So like more cross promotion. This is huge. And lastly, I have to give who is doing the most. This man is doing the most for hockey. And you aren't even going to believe who it is, but it is Mr. Charles Barkley of the NBA. Did you know that TNT told Charles to go get Gretzky to be on the broadcast?
Wow.
They were like, Charles, you need to go convince Gretzky to be on TV. And he's like, does he even want to be on TV? They're like, no, he doesn't have any idea. You go convince him to do it. So he convinced him to do it. He's also, Charles Barkley is the one responsible for getting Rick Tocchet on the round table of the TNT broadcasts. And he's done even more. He was watching and calling, because like he does the TNT NBA broadcast if you don't watch basketball like me, but I just know this. So he was watching a Nuggets game, or we're supposed to be calling a Nuggets game, and live on the air, he was like, this game is so boring. I'm watching NHL playoff hockey. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Get Barkley on the round table next season. Let's go. He also was trying to shout out, they were doing a promo on NBA on TNT for the NHL game with Bobrovsky. And he was like, this goaltender Bobrovsky, like he said, butchered his name, but I don't even care because it was magic. And then they had your boy, Matthew Tkachuk, on.
My boy.
Talking hockey.
Sorry.
And Barkley's also been out there saying that like Connor McDavid is the greatest athlete of our day and nobody even knows who he is outside of hockey. Like he is our biggest advocate and I can't get enough of it. If I ever get to meet the man, I will shake his hand and thank him for all he has done for this sport. Gary Bettman should put this man on the payroll. Like, it's
Maybe
amazing.
He should buy the Senators.
I think he should, but then he can't. Maybe he can't. I don't know how, why wouldn't he? We got to get him to do that.
Yeah, maybe you can convince him.
I could try. I could for sure try.
Good try.
But like, what are your thoughts on this? Like that all
cool.
of these other people are finally discovering hockey.
Yeah, I feel like you see it more and more, or maybe it's just my social media, but I feel like I've seen it more and more where you have players walking up wearing hockey jerseys all the time from other sports, right? Like NBA players, NFL players, all this stuff. I don't know if you have heard of, I'm sure people listening may have heard of the Savannah Bananas.
Yes.
So the Savannah Bananas, I love them. They're my favorite. Jackson Olsen's my favorite banana. But they are on a world tour right now. I think it's a world tour. I think that's what they called it. And they were just in Vegas and they were wearing a Golden Knights jersey, and he's got the helmet, the gloves, and he got a hockey stick. And he's going to go try and hit the ball with a hockey stick, and it didn't work. So he dropped the gloves, dropped the stick, got a bat, hit the ball. And the whole crowd was saying, "Go Knights, go," which was really cool.
They came out to the Knights song, like the opening song.
Yep. So it was super cool. And Jackson Olsen, he's pretty big on TikTok. He actually works for the MLB on the off season. He goes ballpark to ballpark and tries all the different food and kind of rates the ballpark. He was supposed to be a professional athlete, but then he got injured, I think it was. And then he thought he was never going to play again. So then he was invited to go try out for the Bananas. And now he's a main guy on the Bananas. So that's really cool. It's kind of a cool story. But I was watching his stories and he was when in Vegas, the drum line was walking past him. The mascot, I don't know what the mascot's name is, was giving him high fives and chants. And he was just kind of sitting there. He's like, this place is wild. So, but you see it more and more. And to have an influencer who has over 1 million followers and is on a big, everyone I feel knows who the Savannah Bananas are to a certain extent because they do the funny dances and whatnot. But that's promoting it to a mass market that may not know. So it's cool to see it's not an MLB team, but it's still getting an influencer for MLB to promote it to a certain extent. That's what you got to do. It's going to grow it.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I'd be surprised if the league was behind any of this. Like, I doubt it. Maybe, obviously, there has to be some involvement with the Savannah Bananas, of course, because like they wanted to work with Vegas, and like they clearly, I mean, they could have worked with the Aces, the basketball team, or they could have worked with the Raiders, like, but because it's hockey season, like, you know, I'm sure that's the route they took, but they didn't have to. They didn't have to. They could have gone NFL. Like, so this is good. This is very good.
Yeah.
I'm like very happy about this. And it's like being done in an authentic way. And I'm just like really obsessed with Charles Barkley right now.
Good. But you're not obsessed with Auston Matthews. That is clear as day.
That will never happen.
Nope.
That will not happen on my watch. Have you shopped at Pure Hockey? They are America's largest hockey retailer with dozens of stores and the option to shop online. If you or any of your kids play hockey, Pure Hockey is the place to find just about all of your equipment, skates, sticks, gear, bags, jerseys, and accessories. Plus, Pure Hockey is one of our affiliate partners. Next time you break your hockey stick or your kid grows out of his skates, why not check out purehockey.com? While you are looking for hockey equipment, you can also browse around for merchandise from your favorite NHL team, you know who Breezy's and mine are, and make gift giving even easier for your hockey-loving friends and family. And do us a favor, use our special link for purehockey.com when you browse the site and make a purchase, because we'll receive a small commission, which helps me and Breezy create this podcast. Head to the episode's show notes for the special direct link to shop at purehockey.com.
So we're still waiting to see who's going to end up on top in the West. And then next week, we should be able to talk about the final.
Yeah.
So we're getting close. We're getting close, people.
We're getting close. Now I get to go learn how to use an electric chainsaw, and I'm very excited.
Wow. That's pretty good.
It's
pretty fancy.
Yes. Oh, and I'm going to start sharing Antoni content on my Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. So if any of you listen and love Antoni as much as I do, just wait. I have some great Antoni moments to share with you. I'm talking crazy fucking voicemails. I'm talking what she wore to a funeral and how she scared me when she went to go speak. And I was like, no, you can't go up there. Because she's not to be trusted sometimes with those moments. You never know what she's going to say. And then you're also just going to start to see a lot of videos of me using power tools, because that is like my new favorite thing. So today I get to go learn how to use the electric chainsaw.
I'm very excited.
Yes. Okay.
Well, don't chop your fingers off. Or
oh,
leg,
no.
Or limb.
No.
In general.
No.
You'll be fine.
Safety goggles, hat, sunscreen. I'm good.
The whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't mess around, Breezy. Safety first.
Safety first.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just look for House of Hockey podcast. We'll be back next week.